Hello, everyone. I'm Sam Williams, a solution architect here at Great Tech Group. Thank you for joining me at this week's 15 at 15 session. We'll dive into mastering Revit key schedules with Ideate BIMLink. For examples, we'll be walking through the room finish and window key schedules to really contextualize things. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll be happy to assist. Okay. Now, what is a key schedule? A Revit key schedule is a powerful tool for streamlining data entry and ensuring consistency across your model. Instead of manually typing the same information for each element, like finishes, hardware sets, or electrical load types, a key schedule acts as a controlled lookup table, and it allows you to assign predefined sets of values to multiple elements at once. This is especially valuable when managing large volumes of repetitive data, such as defining room finish packages, door, hardware groups, or space classifications with electrical load factors. By centralizing these values, key schedules not only reduce errors and save time, but they also help enforce project-wide standards. Some of the challenges and limitations of leveraging native Revit key schedules include limited flexibility. Revit schedules are relatively rigid when it comes to formatting and customization. While they serve their purpose for displaying model data, they don't offer the kind of control that Excel does, where users can easily apply formulas, use conditional formatting to highlight key data, or filter and sort across multiple fields for better clarity. Another challenge would be data entry constraints. When editing data in Revit, especially in bulk, it could be time-consuming and error-prone. You're often limited to one cell at a time or working within the confines of the Revit UI. In contrast, Excel makes it easy to modify large data sets quickly, allowing users to edit multiple rows and columns simultaneously. You could copy and paste values or use Excel's drag to fill tools. We have collaboration challenges. Because Revit schedules live inside of the model, they require someone with access to Revit to make the changes, which can be a bottleneck for teams that include non-Revit users like project managers or consultants. Excel, on the other hand, can be shared widely via email or cloud services, making it much easier for broader teams to participate in data workflows. And finally, we have a lack of advanced data analysis. Revit doesn't have the built-in tools for analyzing trends or summarizing data. There are no pivot tables, no graphs, no conditional dashboards. Instead, in Excel, users can leverage a wide range of analytical tools, from basic charts to complex pivot tables, to draw insights from project data that would be difficult or impossible to see from within Revit alone. Now getting into Ideate BIMLink. For a high-level overview of how Ideate BIMLink works, it allows you to export huge amounts of parameter or properties data to Microsoft Excel. Excel can then be utilized to review and make those changes seamlessly, then pushes them back into the Revit model. BIMLink becomes the standard for all of your data management tools. And the Revit schedule wasn't just designed to be as powerful as Excel. So with the power of Excel, you could leverage it to manipulate your Revit data, and you now have an easy and powerful interface between Revit and Excel to maximize your productivity. The product also comes with a set of pre-configured links that allows our users to be productive quickly and easily. Now we're going to get into a demo. So we're going to talk about how to leverage key schedule data. Here we see a floor plan of a multi-family building. For this project, you might want to create a Revit key schedule based on room finishes. Now, you may already know how to create Revit schedules, but we'll quickly just walk through the process here for context. So to do so, you would go to the View tab in Revit ribbon, select Schedule, and then select the room category. Name the schedule as you would wish. In this instance, we're calling it the Revit Room Finishes schedule. And then make sure you select the Schedule Key button and also give it a name of your choice. In this case, we're calling it Type Finishes. Click OK. And once you have that sorted, you would want to insert the fields that are available for the rooms. We already have the key name as a field, so we would want to add ceiling finishes, floor finishes, and wall finishes in this case. And once you've done that, you're then able to view the schedule that you've created with all the fields as columns. Now on to leveraging Ideate's BIMLink to facilitate the key data. You would launch BIMLink from your Ideate tab in a ribbon. you would want to create a new BIMLink definition. And so to do that, we're going to expand it so you can just see all the options that are available. You click New, and make sure you have By Schedule tab selected on the left panel. And from there, you could find all the available Revit schedules that are available to use for a BIMLink definition. So we're going to go create one based on the room finish schedule that we just enabled. And you can see all of the properties that are linked based on the fields that were entered earlier. So from there, you would want to export as an Excel file. And then once that's done, you open the file. Once you see the newly created file, you can see all of the blank fields. And as with any link definition in BIMLink, to create new data where the element ID or ID of any sort is available, you'd want to enter new in all caps for those values. Then proceed to fill out the remaining values for the other fields based on how the rooms are to be finished or how you want to organize them. So starting with key name values, then the values for the finishes, and so on. Here you're seeing that we're entering information for the type 1, where we have gypsum board for the ceiling finish, carpet for the floor finish, and the walls are painted. And for type 2, we're entering the information for that, where gypsum for the ceilings, floor, and walls are tiled. For type 3, we have wood paneling. Maybe we want to have something different for the floor finish, which we polish concrete. And for the walls, we would make it painted again. Once you've entered all the information you would want, you could save and exit out of Excel. And we could hop back into BIMLink. We would want to import this data from Excel into Revit. So once you click import and you select the Excel file that you've modified, you see that all newly added values are in yellow. And you can use this as an opportunity to further QC your data before proceeding with importing. If it all looks good, you can import, and now you can see the data inside of your Revit finish schedule. Now back to the floor plan. From here, we could tie the key data to the rooms in the file. Perhaps you would want to select a room first just to see what it looks like. Find a type finishes parameter, then select the key name for that space. So here you see we already have the ceiling, wall, and floor finish as parameters here. And then for the type finishes, you see the types that were added earlier in this process, where if you apply type 2, you see the data that you've entered, where now the values for ceiling, wall, and floor finishes are gypsum tiled and the floors are tiled. And if you were to select another type, such as type 1, you see the information is updated accordingly based on the data you had entered previously. If you were to, if you want to change those values, you could change those values later and update it and push the link definition back into Revit as you would need to as well. So now we could create another schedule. Maybe this one addresses window orientation. So we would again go through the process of creating another schedule using the window category as a basis, and ensuring that schedule keys are selected, and you name the key name a window orientation. In this instance, we're not going to really add any other fields. We're just going to focus on the key name and provide a schedule that sorts all windows based on the orientation that they're in. So again, we're launching BIMLink, and we're going to create a new link definition based on the schedule that you've created. We're going to navigate and find it and highlight it here. So we're going to open the window style schedule, open it up, and we're going to see the ID and key name as the link properties. And again, you would export it as an Excel file. And then you open up Excel, and you would want to input the new values for the IDs as you did before. And then for the key names, you would want to enter the values. Since we're talking about window orientation here, we would just enter north, south, east, and west. And beyond that point, once you have all the data you want, again, you save and you close out of Excel, get back into BIMLink, and select the Excel file that you've just saved and import it into Revit, where you can see all the data that has been created. It shows you the element ID and all the other data that would be associated with it. And now you see the information appearing again in your Windows file schedule. You would go back to your floor plan. You can see the key values in the properties panel for the window orientation property. Here you see them sort of north, south, east, west, and you could highlight your windows and assign that key value to one or all of them as you would see fit. So in this instance, we're selecting all north-facing windows to assign the north key value to. And yeah, of course, again, you can modify and change it as needed, but you will see that that key value has now been assigned to all of that, and any related data that you would want to associate with that key, it would also change their properties or parameters for those windows. Another fun thing you could do is you could also leverage key value data in BIMLink to modify existing schedules with the values and update them accordingly. So here we're going to go to the window instance schedule, and we're going to add this window orientation key value to it so that we have additional information to track. So yeah, going into fields, and then we're going to navigate and find the window orientation field to add as a column in addition to all the other information that we have here. And we position it, and once you do that, you can now see the key fields and the values that are associated with that. So we've only assigned a few of the windows, but once you've assigned all of the windows to a key value, this column will be filled out as you'd want. Or you could just modify it in the schedule itself, which may be an easier workflow for you. Okay, so that wraps up the demo part itself. So why use BIMLink? It really seamlessly exchanges extensive Revit data with Microsoft Excel, including linked files. It's useful for rapid parameter data editing, for managing data beyond schedules. It's easy to batch create new Revit elements, and it's useful for utilization for pre-configured QA, QC, COBie, and health check link definitions. All right, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll be happy to assist. If we didn't get the answer, please reach out to us at support@ideatesoftware.com. This session is recorded and available online or on our YouTube channel under 15 at 15 recordings playlist. So yeah, find us online. If you have any questions or you want to keep up to date on the latest features, you could just go to ideatesoftware.com. And yeah, thank you for your time. If there are any questions, happy to answer them.